We're diving into our latest Patriots mock draft 6.0 post-Senior Bowl edition, I might add, here on the channel. Appreciate everybody who's been supporting New England Patriots today. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would encourage you to do so. We're on the verge of 8,000 subscribers here on the channel. We feel like we're the number one spot for Patriots draft content. I don't think any other Patriots channels have done 6 mock drafts yet. If they have, please let us know who in the comments, because we got to get our game up here. Hit that sub button for more coverage throughout the offseason. All right, Patriots selecting at number 3 overall in this mock draft. Drake Maye and Caleb Williams were already off the board. So Jayden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, is the selection here. We've obviously talked about all 3 of the top quarterbacks in extensive detail, which, by the way, if you didn't see our breakdown of that video where we talk about Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, Jayden Daniels, who would fit best with Alex Van Pelt, I would encourage you guys to go check that out. Daniels was heavily discussed in that video, and obviously Rolly, the favorite to be that QB3 right now, but we'll see what Washington does at 2. Regardless, you got to make a decision and feel good about it at the quarterback spot.
It really does feel like that they're just going to hold pat at 3, and they're going to take whatever quarterback is there. In a perfect world, if you didn't watch that video, detailed my thoughts on who I want it to be, but they're just going to take the best quarterback available to teams. That's the way I view it, and it's probably the best possible situation, too, for New England, and it's the right logical choice because with how you've seen the NFL playoffs go, and you just need a quarterback that can do special things. And whoever the quarterback is, they have elite traits, whether it be a rocket arm like Drake Maye, his mobility, or Jayden Daniels' pure mobility and touch on deep balls. Either way, these quarterbacks are very, very talented. They're special, and they're going to be able to potentially compete with the Mahomes, Josh Allens, Herberts, Lamar Jacksons in the AFC if they hit that potential. So you stand pat at 3, whatever quarterback falls, and you take them.
Yeah, I think that logic is very sound there. Pick a quarterback. Who would you like most on this Patriots football team? If it's Caleb Williams, type CW. If you want Drake Maye, you can type DM. Or if you whirl with who we got in this mock draft, Jayden Daniels, go ahead and type JD. Round 2, pick number 34, Keon Coleman. And I kind of feel like this is the logical, like, when you see these mocks and, like, just playing out scenarios in your brain, QB at 3, receiver at 34. There's going to be a lot of guys in that 34 range. Obviously, Nick, Keon's got that great size. At times, struggles to separate, but when you have that big a size, you can throw back shoulders, you can throw jump balls, you can throw quick passes to him and just let him be physical down the field. So maybe there's some route running separation concerns, but he's a pretty damn good football player when you throw on the tape. You know who knows that? Jayden Daniels, who Florida State torched LSU firsthand with Keon Coleman 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Full transparency here, folks. I've been very skeptical of Keon Coleman for what you mentioned about his route running, and he's even had some drop issues. You see that photo behind his statistics of he could go make some spectacular wow plays. But I have seen him just drop some easy balls over middle of the field at times as well. I've been skeptical of Keon Coleman. But when I've been skeptical of him, it's been primarily because people have been acting as he's a top 15 pick in this draft and the 3rd or 4th wide receiver. I don't think that's the case. I think it is a very fair spot to take Keon Coleman in 34 in that early 2nd round range. Maybe he goes in the end of the 1st round. Maybe he's there at 34. I would be comfortable taking him with the Patriots 2nd round pick. If he is there, I just would not be in on him in the top 20 like he's been mocked there before. I feel like his stock has fallen a little bit lately over the past 2 or 3 weeks and into this range where New England could pick him up. You saw his size initially, 6'4", 215. He's a big body wide receiver that can really play that boundary guy and threaten teams vertically and in the red zone.
Yeah, I feel like back in October and even into November, you would see early mocks of Keon Coleman top 10. Like he'd go over Rome Odunze consistently 2 months ago, and now it's like he's not even close. And you know, I think that's more about Odunze, Neighbors, those guys rising, but he's closer to the Adonai Mitchells of the world, in my opinion. But hey, it's 2nd round. Like that's a totally different ball game. So I think value matters. I think you get him in round 2. It makes some sense, and it's a good fit all around. Trade alert. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Patriots trade back into round 2 with the Las Vegas Raiders. 3rd and a 5th, and next year's 3rd going to Vegas. So pretty good offer here from New England. But guess what, Rolly? You fill a need. Patrick Paul, the offensive tackle out of Houston, should be able to play both sides in the NFL. Certainly an area they need to add at that tackle spot.
Yeah, Rolly GM struck here early. I saw Patrick Paul available at 44, and I had to strike while the iron was hot. I love Patrick Paul, I got to be honest. The Houston Cougar has been exclusively at left tackle in his career. He's a 3-year starter. He's played a lot of games for the Houston Cougars, man. 6'7", 315. I really like his size. And I just think that when you look at the free agent left tackles out there and who you can take, I don't know if they're going to sign multiple offensive tackles. I really hope they bring back Owenu to keep him at right tackle for New England, which means you need to fill that left tackle hole as Trent Brown leaves. And I'd love the Patriots to take Patrick Paul in the 2nd round. Hell, I wouldn't hate if you take him at 34, to be honest, because he was terrific in 2023. PFF's not the end-all, be-all, but he was good. Great pass blocker, which you really, really need at that left tackle spot when you have a right-handed quarterback. And I mentioned the experience, 777 snaps this year. He's durable, 3-year starter. He's been absolutely terrific for Houston, and I could see him sliding into an NFL offense and being a mainstay on an offensive line for quite some time.
Here's what I really like too, Rolly. Houston jumped into Power 5 competition this year in the Big 12, and he improved as a player. Like, he didn't, there wasn't like a learning curve there. Like, the tape was even better, so it's not like against stiffer competition he folded or something like that. So I'm with you. I think he's early, mid-second round is probably where you're looking there, and that's where we get him here. So I think the value's good, and it obviously fills a critical need on this offensive line. What do you guys think is the bigger need for the Patriots? Do you think it's receiver or offensive tackle? We think both are pretty big, which is why we traded back into round 2, but let us know what you think is the bigger need. Now, after the Senior Bowl, I'll be honest, Rolly, Darius Robinson, I think, is going to be gone for sure by day 2. I saw some people, day 1, I'm not there yet, but if he's somehow there in the 4th round, it is a no-brainer. We're acknowledging that. These mock draft simulators aren't perfect, but heading into the Senior Bowl, he was probably considered 3rd, 4th round guy. So we'll see how things shake out after the NFL Combine. He certainly made himself some money this week.
No, it'd be ideal if he was there, but I will fully acknowledge that when I did this mock draft, PFF I don't think has upgraded and updated their rankings just yet when you do these simulators. And listen, this is a dream, so we're not going to take too much time talking about Darius Robinson, but he's a terrific ball player, and you don't know what you're going to do with Josh Uche in free agency, or Anthony Jennings, or Mac Wilson, who played a little bit of edge this year for New England under Bill Belichick's defense. So you're probably going to need to add some depth on that edge position or just the defensive line in general, and this is more of just talking about why the Patriots need to add someone on that D-line at the edge spot more than Darius Robinson himself because, like you said, probably not going to be there.
Get yourself a t-shirt combo today, long sleeve, short sleeve, right now, chatsports.com/Patriots shirt combo. Link is in the comments and in the description. Pick one up today and represent the New England Patriots. A personal favorite of ours, Jace McLennan, who he's always just sitting there in these mocks, 5th round, 6th round. I liked him a lot for the Tide, productive player, has played a lot the last couple of years as well. He doesn't wow you in any area, but he's kind of just solid in all areas. I think he plugs in right away and can be in a rotation in an NFL backfield.
Yeah, I mean, Zeke's a free agent. Kevin Harris played a little bit down the stretch, but you're going to need to find another back to complement Ramondre Stevenson. And I just feel like you could never go wrong with Alabama running backs. McClellan falling a little bit under the radar right now.
Plug and play, right?
Yeah, like you could just be that guy next to Ramondre. We'll see if they bring Zeke back or if they want to go more of a scat back receiving type running back to complement Ramondre. I think that is a possibility as well. Just once again, these mock drafts, who knows if they're going to be here? It's just more of the overarching theme of grabbing someone that can help this team, which is another running back to help Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, exactly. All right, round 7 here. Shal Smith-Wade, the cornerback out of Wazoo. You're obviously getting into the range of these mocks where, these are guys that are fringe draft picks, fringe roster players. You like the production here. Tested well or graded out well per PFF. Had the breakups. Okay size there. So, we'll see. Obviously, guys late in these drafts got to be able to play on special teams. And with a guy like Matthew Slater retiring, obviously you're going to need guys who can, be gunners and so forth. This
may or may not have been a selection just based off name. Just kidding. He actually is a good ball player. Chow Smith-Wade did some nice things at Wazoo. Listen, you're throwing darts here in the 7th round, so but he did grade out pretty well to PFF, so that was a pleasant surprise.
This is a dart I really like, and yes, 2 quarterbacks in a draft. I'm open to that idea because, 1, Mac Jones isn't going to be here, and 2, while Rolly and I are both fine with Bailey Zappi as the backup, that doesn't mean he should just be comfortable throughout the offseason program and be given that job. Talia Tongoa, the younger brother of Tua Rolly, really good at the Shrine Bowl, played really well. He was looking for that 6th year of college eligibility, did not get it, but he's jumped in with both feet in this draft process. I think he helped himself out at the Shrine Bowl down in Frisco enough to get drafted. Obviously, he's undersized, but he's a crafty quarterback. He's mobile, just mobile enough, accurate thrower of the football. Here's what I really like, too. 1,500 career college passes. This guy has played a ton of football, the leading yards passer in the history of the Big Ten. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, and I think you could just also stash him as your 3rd quarterback if you wanted to for the entire season. I'm not saying he has to be the backup quarterback for New England, but he could be your emergency quarterback as that 3rd guy if you want to keep him on the 53-man or just hopefully stash him on the practice squad and hope another team doesn't pick him up. But either way, I think he's someone worth developing. And it's always, to me, we've talked about this in the past, I think you should always be developing a quarterback just in case you find some gold or a needle in a haystack, potentially. I think Talia, if he's there, late 7th round pick, you have 2 picks in the 7th round, might as well take a quarterback with one of them.
And if you're taking a QB late like this, to me, you look for one of 2 things. 1, lots of experience, Talia. 2, guy with crazy traits. Joe Milton, I don't know how far he's going to fall. I don't think he'll be there in round 7. But just in terms, you want one of those 2 things. Look, I know everybody these days, he could be the next Brock Purdy. I'm not saying that, but he's similar in the sense of he's seen a lot of bullets, right? Like he's taken a lot of snaps at the college level. There's not a coverage he hasn't seen. So I think, if nothing else, that brings value to a quarterback room. All right, guys, there you have it, our latest and greatest Patriots mock draft. You let us know if it's great. A, B, C, D, or F. Drop your letter grade down in the comments as we recap real quickly here. Then you can get that letter grade in. Jayden Daniels at number 3 overall. You get him a receiver in Keon Coleman. Trade up into round 2. Get Patrick Paul to protect his blind side. Darius Robinson, kind of a pipe dream, but we get him in round 4. Jace McLennan in the 6th round. And then Chow Smith-Wade and Talia Tongoa in round 7. A, B, C, D, or F. Drop a letter grade down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. More content to come here on Patriots Today.